Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. Couple-minute riff on IT and IT security. Thinking about fatigue, man. It's Tuesday. Doesn't feel like Tuesday. So we all see fatigue, right? And in terms of IT security, that can show itself in many different ways. And I'm not necessarily talking about burnout. We can talk for quite some time around burnout. We can get some beers at some time and talk about burnout. If you see me and you want to talk about burnout, come on up in a conference. We'll talk burnout. But I'm actually talking about something more like alert fatigue, right? So uh, if you think about its detection and prevention, we say, that prevention is ideal, but detection is a must. Prevention is ideal, detection is a must. If you think about time-based security, it's having your prevention last longer than your detection or response. And either time-based security or traditional prevention detection models, detection activities take a forefront. And due to the emphasis of this, many organizations have built up some pretty robust detection groups. I know oftentimes in this talk we talk about getting started with detection, but today we're going to talk about the second part of it. You've got detection in place, and now you're getting too much. Why would that be? Well, obviously there's a number of things. One, there's more activities than ever. As we think about things like Internet of Things, and you bring in your ICS and SCADA devices, your operational technology. If you look at the growth in web services, growth in databases, growth across the layer of devices and everything else, the bottom line all results in the same. There's more activities across our network than ever. There's more activities in our systems and more activities in our networks. And depending at the level you're logging, that of course means more logs, right? More activity, more logs. Second thing is there's better and better detective controls, which means better and better and more alerts. So not only from signature-based, but also from behavioral-based, from anomaly-based, intrusion detection systems, advanced threat protection systems, your firewalls, your routers, your host-based IDS, you name it. Everything's alerting and tracking and monitoring now, which is great. It's much better than not having the visibility, but now we got too many alerts. So too much activities, too many detective controls alerting out. So what do? Well, we know what the problem is. The problem is you get so many alerts that you don't respond, right? Which is the definition of alert fatigue. The problem is you're so concerned about not missing anything that you try and get everything. And no one can get everything. There's not enough time, there's not enough resources, period, right? Even if you look at like just try and read the packets on the network, you drive yourself nuts. I actually did the math one time and figured out how many people I would need to read the packets on my network, and this was like 5 years ago, but it ended up being like 20 people if I was going to look at every packet. I was of course justifying an intrusion system, but you get the point. There's just way too much traffic to try and do everything. So A, we got to start prioritizing. B, we need lenses to narrow down those monitors and figure out which ones are really important. One of the lenses I prefer is threat models and looking at actual attacks. Another lens I like is to say, okay, here's our mandates driven by compliance, regulation, and standard that we're logging for, and drive it by mandates. A third way that I've seen is risk rank prioritization. I can look at X number of alerts per day. So I'm going to do a statistical sampling, and I'm going to feed that many alerts to my security operations folks. Both of those will work. Another thing that you can do is looking at tuning the network as opposed to tuning the devices. So weeding out the logs by creating a more robust IT infrastructure. That can take a bit of time, and it takes a lot of buy-in from your IT folks. Very useful. And the third thing you can look at is centralizing those and running them through other forms of analytics. So rather than getting logs from the firewalls, the SIM, or firewalls, IDS, IPS, advanced threat, you get the idea. Rather than getting all these logs and alerts, send all alerts to one alert collector and then run rules on that. Sometimes it's a SIM, sometimes that may be other central consoles, but by centralizing, cleaning up your IT sources, and prioritizing and having a lens that prioritizes it, you can reduce alert fatigue by focusing your security operations team on what they can handle and hopefully what's important. Thanks so much.